And for more on this, we're now being joined by Ambassador Anil Wadhwa, former MEA Secretary. Welcome to WION, Ambassador Wadhwa. First up, the Pakistan Prime Minister has said that they are ready for peace talks with India. But, Ambassador, Pakistan keeps the talks until the next attack happens. We've seen that in 2008 and in 2019 as well. Every time Pakistan tries to hide behind this facade of peace and promotes terror, it's indeed a classic Pakistan response. But what are your views on Pakistan Prime Minister's statement?
So, I think what you said is correct. There's been a steady pattern in the Pakistani behavior. As you know, the composite dialogue took place in 1997, 2003, and then it was stopped in 2008 because of the Mumbai terror attack. And thereafter, it's been on and off. But whenever a terror attack takes place, then of course the composite dialogue loses its complete meaning. And Pakistan has been using the composite dialogue to gain time to launch the next attack. So the pattern of behavior is quite clear. It's preparation for the next attack. There is no let up on the training camps. There's no dismantlement of the training camps. In fact, the numbers have constantly been increasing over time and over the years. And also the sophistication of these attacks has gone up. So therefore, there is no sincerity behind what Pakistan says and what it does in practice.
Right, Ambassador Wadhwa, I was just coming to that because there's clearly a stark difference with what Pakistan says and what it actually does. And that's why New Delhi has clearly said and has asserted its stance that talks with Islamabad will only happen on terror and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. How do you look at New Delhi's stance at this point of time against the new normal against terrorism?
So I think this was a stage that had to be reached and a decision had to be taken. There's been a steady evolution of India's stand against cross-border terrorism since 2016. And of course, Pahalgam was the final straw. And therefore now it's a question of making sure, drawing a red line and saying that this far and no further. Because ultimately there is a limit to how much a country can tolerate, how much its citizens can tolerate through the cross-border terrorism. And therefore, it's important to draw this line. And I think India has done that now. And so the Prime Minister, when he says that it is talks will be held only on cross-border terrorism or on Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, this is what he means. So at this point in time, for Pakistan to say from Iran that we would like to restart the composite dialogue is quite laughable. There is already in this statement, which Pakistan has made, by the way, there is a stark difference. There is no mention whatsoever of cross-border terrorism or stopping terrorism or dismantling the camps. It talks about counter-terrorism. There is also a mention of the fact that the water issue will be the talk should restart on the water, because that is what is hurting Pakistan the most. And then, of course, the perennial question of Kashmir, without talking about peace and security or any other matter like people-to-people exchanges, which was part of the composite dialogue earlier. So we can see where this is going. And I think it's a deliberate ploy to fool the international community once again that Pakistan is making the peace overtures and that India is not responding. This is what the Pakistanis expect.
Right, Ambassador Wadhwa, you speak of how this statement by the Pakistan PM is in a bid to fool the international world. And I just want to take a follow-up on that. Do you think that the peace talk call by the Pakistan Prime Minister can be done to perhaps divert attention from the global scrutiny that Pakistan is facing in supporting terrorism?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely a ploy to take away the scrutiny from what Pakistan has been doing all along over the years. And then, of course, it also faces pressure from lenders like the World Bank. The IMF loan has gone through with 11 conditionalities this time. But then you also have the FATF issue, which is resurfacing. And at some point in time, all these issues will come to haunt Pakistan once again when it faces scrutiny there. There is a deliberate attempt to mislead and falsify, what it has been doing along the years. It is a deliberate policy.
Right, Ambassador Wadhwa, thank you so much for taking out time and joining us here on WION with your insights.
Thank you.